Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to my brand new show, Cheffin with Cortney. I'm just a homegrown cook that loves to cook food, anything from soul food, Asian food, Italian food, you name it, I love to cook it. So my purpose is just to bring my passion to you and help you out. The first dish that we're going to make today is going to be beef stroganoff, one of my favorites. And when we come back, I'll go over all the ingredients and we'll start getting it in. Stay with me. All right, guys, welcome back. So let's go ahead and get to chefing. Let's get this going and get it in and make something good today. So the first thing I got two types of noodles because I like to mix it up. I got some Papardelle noodles and some tagliatelle, some coarse ground black pepper. We got a little bit of onion powder, some smoked paprika. Got some fresh portobello mushrooms, some unsalted butter with sour cream, some beef consomme, cream mushroom soup, and then I got a little mix of seasonings right here of these 4 seasonings in this bowl. And I got some beef rub that we're going to use on our steak. And also right here, I got about 3 pounds of chuck steak. Don't need nothing special, just this is actually one of my favorite types of steak to use. It's not real expensive and it's actually real tender. So what I did with the steak is I actually used kosher salt. I salted it overnight, sprinkled it with some kosher salt, put it in the fridge, let it sit in there for about 12 hours. And what that does is that actually breaks down the fibers and actually helps to tenderize the meat. So we're not going to add too much to this. We're going to stick it on the grill, the Foreman grill behind me, get that cooking. Then we're going to get these noodles in here, get them started. Then we're going to make our sauce and we're going to put everything together. So what you want to do, first thing you want to do, sometimes you get these steaks and they have what's called this silver skin. You want to cut that off because that's not going to render or anything. So what I like to do is I just like to take this part and just take that off right there. Because that's actually going to make it tough and it's not going to render down. So, and what we're just going to put this meat on the Foreman grill and cook it. We're not going to cook it all the way. We're going to leave it like a medium rare because we're actually going to put it in the sauce and flavor it that way with the sauce. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish cutting this. I started a little bit earlier, but I'm just going to go ahead and just finish cutting this and trimming this up. I don't want to take off too much fat because fat is flavor. And you can see that it's marbled pretty good for a chuck steak. It's got a decent amount of marbling in the meat. Okay, so and I make this a lot. Beef stroganoff, like I said, is one of my favorite dishes to make, and I've been making it for years, and I've just kind of developed my own style of making the dish, and I'm just going to share that with you today. So I was just going to go ahead and finish trimming this up, and it looks pretty good to me. I'm not going to take too much more off of here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of seasoning on this. I got this beef rub. I was actually thinking about smoking this today, but I didn't feel like it. It's kind of cold outside, so I'm not feeling that today. So we'll just go ahead and do it this way. And had I remembered to get some oil, I could have seared them, but didn't do that either. So we're just going to go with the Foreman grill. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of onion powder on here. Okay. Remember, it's already salted, so you don't need a lot of salt on these. And some smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. Put that on just about everything that I cook with. All right. And we're just going to cook these for a couple minutes. Like I said, we're not going to cook them all the way. We're going to get them to about medium rare temperature. And I'm going to put some black pepper on here. Coarse ground black pepper. All right. Make sure that it's seasoned real good. Just turn this over real quick. Dish doesn't take long to make at all. And just turn over and repeat. Simple, easy peasy. No big deal. I don't think I've ever made this dish the standard way. I think I've always done it my way, and done the mushroom soup as a base, and it always comes out pretty good. I mean, my wife isn't a fan of the mushrooms, but you know, she'll either pick them out or whatever the case is. So you know. All right, so I got my meat seasoned right here. What I'm gonna do when we come back, I'm gonna go ahead and get this meat on the grill. I'm gonna start getting this pasta in the water, get that to going, and then we're gonna go ahead and put our sauce together, and I'm gonna show you exactly how we make beef stroganoff my way. All right, stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, guys. So I got my meat done, got my steak done, cooked it to about a medium rare temperature. Like I said, we're not gonna cook it all the way. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take and let it rest, because we're gonna slice it into slices, pretty much strips, and we're gonna put that in there in the sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this over here on the side, let that rest. Okay, and what we're gonna do now is we are actually going to go ahead and start with our noodles. All right, so I'm gonna put in, like I said before, I have two separate kinds of noodles. I got Papardelle and a Tagliatelle noodle, just because I like different types. I actually love the Papardelle, the thick noodle. I'm using Delalo style brand. They're one of my favorite. They come in nests. So we're just gonna put these in there, and they're gonna cook al dente. They're gonna cook about anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. I actually salted my water, just a little bit of salt, and that actually helps to flavor the noodle and get some more flavor, because I love to build flavor with my noodles. Okay, so and these are my tagliatelle, and I'm just gonna put these in here. You can use any noodle you want. Normally I like to use these. You can use the eggless noodles if you want. Those are some good noodles, broad noodles. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I just like to use two separate noodles in my stroganoff. Okay, now we're gonna get to the sauce. All right, the beef stroganoff sauce. This is the base of the sauce. Just gonna watch our noodles here. Turn this up. All right, so this is good. This is the foundation. This is the sauce right here. So we have some cream of mushroom soup as the base. Make sure I got my pan on. All right, so we're just gonna put that in there. All right, I'm gonna put our beef consomme, which is basically beef stock, like a soup, kicked up a notch. That's all that is. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there. I want to bring this to a boil. All right. I know it doesn't look like anything now, but just give it a few minutes, guys. It's gonna be a banger. Just hold on. And just kind of want to mix it, just to give it just kind of incorporate it, get all those flavors in there, get that beefy flavor going. All right, and once we get it mixed and it's actually boiling, then we're going to take and start seasoning it and building the flavor with it. Okay, so. All right, and while we're waiting for that to come up to boil, just gonna check our noodles. Sometimes you gotta multitask in the kitchen, but you know, it is what it is. And we're gonna cook our noodles al dente again. We don't want them to be overcooked. We want them to be a little firm. All right. So we're just gonna separate them to make sure that they don't stick. And these are actually some of the best noodles you can get. I love these noodles. All right, and as you can see, our sauce is starting to boil, and just going to keep mixing it to incorporate the flavors of the beef consomme and the soup. This is our base. This is our foundation. Okay. Make sure we get all those lumps out. Sometimes you got to work with it. And if it's too thick or whatever, you can just add a little water to it just to thin it out, kind of help it just gets a little velvety smooth. Okay, so just want to bring it to a boil. All right, all while watching the noodles. I'm gonna put our mushrooms in here. So we want to cook those mushrooms. All right, and then we're gonna put our seasonings in here. And all I have again is paprika, some onion powder, black pepper, and a little bit of kosher salt. So we're just gonna put that in there. All right. Turn it down. Keep an eye on my noodles because I don't want them to overcook. Very picky about my noodles, so. All right. Next, we're going to get some butter. And then I'm going to add some sour cream. Now I usually start out with heaping tablespoon and a half. Okay, see how that goes. And you know, you just have to see, just kind of eyeball it and just work with it and get it to the right consistency that you want it. You know, the butter is going to add richness to it, and then your mushroom is going to add a little more umami flavor, beefy flavor to the sauce. And you just basically you're going to just let this simmer, let these flavors develop. You're cooking down the mushrooms as well. Portobellos don't really cook down that much. I mean, they do. The longer you cook them, I kind of like mine a little big. But we'll cook these down a little more. And as you can see, the sauce is thinning out, really starting to develop. One important thing, always taste your dish while you're cooking. All right, check on my noodles real quick. They seem to be doing good. Whoa. Yeah. That's got some flavor to it. This is actually my first time using beef consomme. I normally use beef stock, but that beef consomme takes it up to a whole new level. Yeah. This is a banger right here. That's some flavor. That flavor is gonna hit you right in the gut. All right, so we're just gonna let this go ahead and simmer. And I'm gonna go ahead and get these noodles. All right, so I'm gonna turn these noodles off because they're about done. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sauce simmer for a few more minutes. If my steak is resting right now, I'm gonna cut that up, put that in the sauce, and then we're gonna put it all together when we come back. Stay with me. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we got our sauce done. The noodles are done. We just pulled the bread out of the oven. I made some Texas toast, 5 cheese Texas toast. So now let's put it all together and see what we got. Okay, so my noodles have been sitting out for a while. All right, so as you can see, they are just a little sticky. So a trick I learned working at a restaurant, that's why I don't throw my pasta water out. Stick the noodles back in the water, okay, for a few seconds. All right, and that'll actually loosen them back up. That way you don't have to put any oil or anything in there. All right, turn the water on because it's still got all the starch and everything in there, so it's gonna be good. So you never throw your water out when you're cooking your pasta. All right, so we're just gonna set that in there for a few more seconds. Let that heat back up. All right. And then we got our 5 cheese Texas toast here. We got our sauce that's already done here. I sliced my meat, okay, and I put it in the sauce, and it's been cooking for about 20 minutes, simmering for about 20 minutes. I had to pull the meat off about medium well, and let it rest for about 10-15 minutes. Then I sliced them into strips, okay, and let the sauce do its thing, let all the flavors marry together and just become something spectacular. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start building this plate. So first thing we're gonna do is gonna take our pasta noodles here, all right, and we're just gonna put them here on the plate. Nothing fancy. All right, just let them drip out. Sure you shake all the excess water out of them. Okay. Then we're gonna come to our sauce. Our meat. And we're just gonna put this on top. Just like that. Okay. All right. And if you want a little bit more sauce, just take a spoon here, little ladle, it's a little sauce. Let's go ahead and pour that over top. All right. Wipe my plate off. Okay, folks, there you have it. My take on beef stroganoff. All right, and we're gonna do a taste right now. See how everything came out. Take a piece of meat here. Make sure to grab a noodle. Oops. We're at home, so there ain't no perfection here. All right. Well, yeah. Flavor. You taste the richness of the sour cream, the butter, the salt comes through even in the noodles. This is a Cheffin banger right here. This is my doggone take on beef stroganoff. Appreciate you guys joining me today. See you on the next episode. Have a good one.